Vegeta would have been a better main character choice than Gohan. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I guess since our brains are already rotted, let's have a more serious, not necessarily too serious, but brain rotted discussion. It's time for your stupid hot takes, man. This is what you guys tried to submit into the Reddit. Yeah, keep your hot takes out the Reddit and follow the Twitter. That's where you submit your hot takes. We try to do this once a week. Let's get right to it. Only doing this because you want to go and make us wait all night for a stream. The Super 17 fight is one of the best fights between DB, DBZ, and DBS and DBGT. I place it so. Okay, he's just lying, so we're just gonna move on. I don't necessarily have anything to say. He's just lying. That Jiren winning the tournament of power take isn't as bad as y'all made it seem. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I don't know if this is you trying to get your shit off again, but it 100% is. To go over it, because I've already had a short on it, but for anybody that doesn't know who I am or discovered my channel for the first time, essentially this guy or someone else had the notion that Jiren winning the tournament of power wasn't going to be that bad because Jiren's strong and it would have taught him the lesson, yap, yap, yap. The issue is he learns the lesson too late and still gets rewarded for it, 1. 2, Goku is stronger than him, so realistically it doesn't make sense to write the show as a cop-out win for Jiren, but then he also learns the lesson. 3, most importantly, he wouldn't learn the lesson if he had won. If he had won with his own individual strength, it kind of defeats the point of said lesson. He may have learned what would made him stronger, but if he had won, he doesn't learn the power with the strength in others. So that doesn't make sense. 4, and not necessarily most importantly, but do we know Jiren would have changed his mind and just wished back everyone back? It's probable, it's possible, but it's not certain. So yeah, Jiren winning the tournament of power is just another case of Dragon Ball fans wanting to kind of, and y'all hate when I use the word, but be on some edgelord shit or some angsty ass shit and want the main character to lose because, hey, it's not the typical thing for the main character to lose. It's appealing for a lot of people when main characters lose in animes, and that's fine. There's definitely been arcs where, yeah, Goku needs to get his ass kicked type shit, but this is not one of those moments. Hell, Goku doesn't even get the capital W here. Goku sacrifices himself here. It just doesn't hit for you in that regard because it's a tournament and nobody dies. If he wins, there's no lesson to be learned. Exactly. If Jiren wins, nobody learns anything. Hell, it might regress Jiren's character. Chat, if I teach you not to touch a stove, you'll get burned. But then you touch a stove and you're like, oh, it's not even that hot for real. And then the next stove you touch, oh, it's not even that hot for real. Gang, did you really learn a lesson because one time you touched a singular stove, it was hot? Like, maybe that's not the best analogy, but that's just stupid. That's just bad writing. OG Broly is fine. Complex does not equal better. The key to whether a villain is good or not is how they service the narrative. Broly not just being a misunderstood brute, but actually evil by nature gives credence to King Vegeta's decision. Him getting mad at Goku for crying is hilarious. So I'll speak for the Broly Z fans here. It's more than just the tot cried and he was mad. Being said, I agree with this, and this is what Broly Z fans hate to hear. Gang, I don't think DBZ Broly is a complex character. Stop trying to gaslight us to thinking he is. He's really, really, really not. Even if all of your combined headcanon steps, if all combined DBZ Broly fans agreed on the same page with all different variants of headcanon going into one, that still wouldn't make a complex character because that's how simple the PTSD would be. But he's a good character for the movie because you find out, yeah, when this nigga turns into the legendary Super Saiyan, yeah, he's just a dick. The nigga just wants to see destruction. The nigga pump fakes the little whatever gremlin looking niggas just to blow up their planet. Like, he literally could have killed them, but he was like, nah, I'm kidding, and shot the planet. That's kind of fucked. He's literally just beating the shit out of all the motherfucking Saiyans just cause he can. Blew up a universe just cause he can. Yeah, he's pretty good at what he was supposed to do. And I think that's fine, but you don't need to gaslight us to saying he's a complex character. He's not. Tournament of Power to Granola is the second greatest 3-arc stretch in Dragon Ball history. No, because you saying the start of Z to Cell, I would say it's up there. It might be top 3. It might be the third best one, but I would say original Dragon Ball with 22nd, Demon King 23rd. I probably like that a little bit more. But that's not bad. That's not a bad take at all. Okay, well, it's been a couple months since we seen this one, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But essentially another take in another hot takes video, believing that Super Saiyan 2 should have been base form. Again, Super Saiyan 2 being base form is kind of like redundant-ish, because at that point you would just argue that Super Saiyan should be base form and Super Saiyan 2 should be the new Super Saiyan 1. And I think I think they made the right decision. I'm gonna be blunt. The series would be kind of ugly. It's I hate to be that guy, but the series would just be ugly. I'm gonna get lazier with this rebuttal here. Sorry if this is your first time watching my channel. I've reacted to this take a ton of times, so I'm just gonna give a lazier response here. Series gets ugly if everyone that can be blonde is always blonde, and the difference is consistently zappy zaps or not. Yeah, the series just gets very, very, very ugly there. So I think they made the right decision. The old Z dub has caused a lot of people to misunderstand Goku as a character, while Kai course corrected it. People think Goku is a superhero when in fact he isn't. Hell, he claims not to be a hero in the Tournament of Power, but Dragon Ball fans don't watch their own show, so that makes sense. And this is Goku quite literally saying, I don't think I'm a hero of justice or anything. Yeah, for the most part, I mean, this has been an issue in the Dragon Ball community for a long time. If you're a guy that only watched Dragon Ball Z, Goku's dialogue is drastically changed, not to a level of you didn't watch Dragon Ball. I hate when people do that, but Goku comes off as Superman a lot, like a lot. And yeah, he's not Superman, like not at all actually. They're clearly two different beings. So yeah, I agree for the most part. Yeah, there's not necessarily anything to disagree with. There's been a rise in hate for DBS Goku, and I don't get why. I get that he has dumb moments, but for me, DBS Goku always felt like Goku, especially in the manga. While I don't think he's perfect, I feel the hate towards DBS Goku has been overblown. You know, they're gonna put the knife to your neck, but I agree. I do think that DBS Goku has very cringe. All right, Toriyama, I guess that's funny, but you realize you low-key just made Goku look like a fucking idiot. Like, I guess, ha, he's never kissed Chi-Chi. Like, that's annoying. Like, I understand that. But RP Big Tori, by the way. But when you watch the series and just take a step back at the over-the-top, cringe, corny moments, yeah, Dragon Ball Super Goku's not that different of a character. The main difference that you could say, okay, this is different and I don't like it, is the Goku is a lazy off-guard guy. That is a new thing for the most part. Not a brand new thing, but it's like a thing that they harp home on, and it's like, this was never the Goku Achilles heel. It was something that Goku does do, but it was never this like, what the fuck, you know, Goku's gonna be off guard thing. It's kind of like how in One Piece, Zoro at times, yeah, got lost, but like post time skip, this nigga's always getting lost. It's kind of like that. But I don't think that this is a completely different character at all. I've always said that Dragon Ball Super Goku is essentially an actualized Goku, and now it's about the path to power and things like that. So I agree with you for the most part. People talk about Vegeta always getting hoed when he really only deserved to beat the main villain 1.5 times, with Frieza and Res F and Fusamasu. 0.5 because of Vegeta. So he's saying Vegeta has never deserved a W outside of Res F, because the fusion part is kind of whatever. He didn't deserve to beat I mean, you could argue he deserved to beat Goku, but like it's heavily like spoon-fed to you that, yeah, gang, he was stronger than Goku, but didn't. He gets a couple of dubs with like the grunts or whatever, but you're talking main villains. He should have beaten Cell realistically, but the character of Vegeta would never beat second form Cell, knowing that there was a final form Cell unless we get to a version of Vegeta like right now. But that version of Vegeta, so I agree there. Boo, he should have never beat Boo. He just wasn't strong enough. If you want to count Goku as a main villain part 2, I guess he technically gets the knockout there, but I wouldn't call that a dub considering how obviously stronger Goku was. Yeah, who is the antagonist? Maybe Granola? Yeah, who's the guy that Vegeta should have beaten? That's actually kind of crazy. I might agree with him. my low-key agree with him. My low-key agree with him. I ain't gonna lie. That's actually a good point. Super Boo is by far the best version of Boo, and it's not close. He was actually cunning and had real battle IQ, even though he was a goofball. See, this is kind of a pick'em thing. You either like Fat Boo because he's funny, Super Boo because he is this way, Boohan because he's a more enhanced version of this Super Boo, and Kid Boo because he's like chaos incarnate. But I think all of the Boos are like a pick'em thing. What I want to talk about is why this actually harms you with the fact that they're all the same character, but they act so drastically different. Yes, first form, second form, and final form transform, Cell, or Perfect Cell, I'm sorry, aren't necessarily the same characters. They have different voice actors even. But it's just like, you could tell that was always Cell and he still had the exact same motives. Majin Buu, Super Buu, Buuhan even, and Kid Buu, they're just like 4 different people. At worst, 3 different people. And it kind of throws you off as the viewer because you're kind of trying to buy into too many antagonists. I think the Buu saga suffered from an oversaturation of time, even, obviously. But yeah, just too many like characters that you had to really get like invested into. And so I think this just highlights a real issue with the Buu saga more than anything. BoJack Unbound is canon. Out of every character that people say should replace Goku as a main character, it should be Oob. He has the potential to have one of the most fun and unique movesets in the series, and he's already supposed to be set up as Goku's protege. Okay, so we're talking if someone has to do it. If someone must do it, like must do it, yeah, you gotta go Oob or Gohan. I could see Oob, but then I think like, and I'm gonna be blunt, kind of just lose a lot of aura there because Oob is a character that's just pure Earthling, and I think that would set up a lot. Like, obviously he's a reincarnation of Buu, but considering that he's an Earthling, what are you gonna do? Have Oob start transforming and shit? Because then that's gonna set off a lot of people for like, yo, so you're telling me that Krillin, Tien, all these niggas were just dog shit and couldn't transform? Not to mention it, like Gohan, you couldn't just figure the shit. So it's an issue of that. It would be like an entirely different series versus just feeling like Dragon Ball from a casual lens. But then on a more well actually note, it's kind of like you have to go all in on Oob, and it would piss people off because then it's like, why not Goten? Why not Gohan? So it'd be a very triggering thing for the community as well. The English dub is the worst way to experience the anime. From the constant change in dialogue that led to mischaracterization just so they sound cool to the change in OSTs. Me personally, I don't care, but I disagree. I think there isn't necessarily a better way. I know that's kind of like a fence-sitting thing, but I think that there's 2 good ways to watch the series, gang. I don't know what to tell you. I think that to sit there and tell me that Chris Sabat, I want to say, and Sean Schimmel are like not cooking that's a take to get across. A gang, watch the peak that is sub. Like, obviously to 90% of anime fans, they're always going to prefer sub over dub because that's the authentic, the real. Ugh. But like for me, one, I mean, most of us watching this video speak English and speak English fluently. I don't know how you're watching this video and you don't speak English. I'd be pissed off at some guy in a do-rag talking in a language that I don't understand at some point. But all trolls and shit aside, yeah, I just don't see the inferiority per se. The issue, the best bet that you have is specifically Goku in terms of dialogue change. But then it's like, do I think Z Goku's a bad character? That answer is no. It's just not the real Goku, if that makes sense. But I don't think Z Goku being like a Superman guy is a bad thing. Like, let's say the manga didn't exist, and this is what I'm kind of getting at. Let's say the manga didn't exist. And Z Goku, the Goku that's laying on his back, I don't want you to kill Vegeta one day because, you know, give him a second chance type shit. Is that a bad character? No, it's just not the character that you read in the manga. I don't think that makes that version of Goku bad, if that makes sense. It's definitely different. Now, when you're talking about the OSTs and shit like that, I also just don't think the English version is bad, but it is what it is. And including movies, that gets really tricky because, hey, gang, I don't know. Broly in the dub kind of cooks, man. but the manga does exist, and that what makes it bad and disrespectful. That's fine. That's fine if you think it makes it disrespectful, I suppose so. But again, it doesn't make that doesn't make that Goku a bad character, because when you're comparing the things, we're having a conversation about which one separately is better or worse, and I think the conversation's cringe. You can't then be like, okay, but then compare it to what already exists in the book. That just it doesn't necessarily go about it the right way. Like it's a weird way. It's a weird way to put down the whole argument, because you're like, okay, which is more manga accurate? Because then at that point, I'm be like, all right, bet, watch Kai. At that point, really, what the fuck is the issue with Kai? So I don't like the argument of, okay, we're talking about it from a lens that who sticks to the book better. Okay, that's the better version. At that point, sure, I suppose the one that was written in Japanese will just always be superior or something. But if we're talking about dub variants that also stick to the book, then what's the fuck the issue with Kai? I don't see an issue. But furthermore, I'm thinking, okay, gang, someone has watched Dragon Ball Z in dub. This is the Goku. It's not necessarily too many line changes. It's just actually line changes that me, you, and a bunch of other people that are watching Dragon Ball videos on YouTube that are too tapped in are talking about. Yeah, I don't think that makes that version bad. It's just not the version that you read. But let me know your thoughts, man. I think the whole fucking topic's stupid. Enjoy what you like. Goten and Trunks have arguably the top 5 highest levels of potential. Broly, Jiren, Gohan, Frieza, Goku. Yeah, no, you don't. no, you don't. No, they don't. You could argue Android 17 at that point as well. So Super Saiyan at 7, that does not mean anything, to be very honest with you. That's like the laziest argument possible. If you want to be annoying granola, he kind of wished for it, but I could see it. When people talk about wasted characters, I think in a sense King Cold not getting that evil space emperor presentation makes him wasted. I'm drawing the line at King Cold. Hey, you got me. I'm drawing the fucking line at King Cold. All right, y'all have done Deborah. Y'all have done every Earthling possible. You've done some main antagonist even. Some of you guys have said Vegeta and Gohan. I'm drawing the line at fucking King Cold, bro. Okay. A worse Frieza, an older Frieza's pops, my nigga. I do not care. Current Goten and Trunks can easily beat Broly and possibly Gohan if they fused. Not only is that untrue, but did you even read what you're trying to push? Because that's just not true. Battle of the Gods is so incredibly better than previous movies because it gets the same treatment as Super Broly, it's canon, and the long-awaited return of Dragon Ball. It had to be the best, at least at that point in time. Yeah, I would honestly argue that Battle of Gods is still the best. But if you think there's other movies later on that surpassed it, that's fine. I definitely think Battle of Gods is better than anything prior to. I think Battle of Gods was easily the most beautiful. I think it had the best music. The only thing that you have is if you want to go peak moment for moment, I don't think you can, but your best bet is going moment for moment. Wrath of the Dragon ending and Broly's dialogue and Gogeta's debut versus like fucking I'm not gonna let you destroy my world and shit like that. But I think Battle of Gods was almost a perfect Dragon Ball movie in the sense it was funny, it had action, nothing was dragged, you introduced the antagonist early. A lot of the Dragon Ball Z movies, gang, I can't wait to do that list, take like 2/3 of the movie, to introduce the fucking villain. Battle of Gods was that damn good, bro. Outside of music and nostalgia, Kai dog walks the original Dragon Ball Z as dub and it's never been close. Yeah, okay. So this is what I'll say. If you're a person, we just got done comparing DBZ dub versus sub. One thing I can say is when we're comparing dub to dub and the actors are pretty similar, there's some exceptions there. The accuracy to the manga can be seen as a beneficial here, even if you don't want to go about it as, okay, the manga interpretations or whatever. I do think that Kai captures the tone and paces itself much better than the original. It suffers less of characters going a lot. Like what original dub does a lot is, let's say someone smacks Goku and knocks him out. 5 different characters will be on screen and grunt, and then the music will like change over and over and over again because for some reason in the original DBZ dub, there was just like never a moment for silence, damn near. I mean, I like Kai. I like both. I just don't get why this is major discourse in 2024. I mean, I just don't understand the major discourse in 2024. And also, I think Kai's music is underrated. Vegeta would have been a better main character choice than Gohan. Absolutely not. Hell no. A lot of people think I hate both of these characters because I tell jokes about both of these characters. But one thing is for certain, absolutely not. Gohan would have easily been a better main character than Vegeta. It's just not even close to what the narrative would hint and or imply for you. It's not close to how the series of Dragon Ball would go. You would have to change Vegeta drastically for it to even remotely make a lick of sense. And at that point, if you're not trying to change the character, character. Gohan fits the story of Dragon Ball more than Vegeta. You would just have to rely on your antagonist pushing the story forth more than Gohan did. But regardless, yeah, no. The answer is definitely Gohan, and Vegeta being a somewhat pseudo mentor to Gohan if Goku's dead. And if Gohan's just the main character while the other two are older, then both are mentors. But there's no way that Vegeta should be the main character. That is hilariously untrue. I know we talk about Gohan's power boost ass pools, but when are we going to talk about Piccolo's? I don't think Orange Piccolo applies, let me be clear, but I will never, and I'm gonna keep saying never let this community gaslight me to why Piccolo is that strong on Namek. That shit didn't make sense. I don't know what to tell you. Didn't make a lick of sense. You're telling me Goku abusing Zenkai Boost, training in the gravity room, made him so strong to essentially one tap the Ginyu Force, but still was laughably weaker than Frieza. But then Piccolo, meditating on King Kai's, touches down, fuses with Nail, and he's able to box a power level of 1,000,000. Gang, I don't give a single fuck how strong you want me to believe the fusion was, and I damn sure don't want you to tell me that, yo, okay, the fusion wasn't OD, but he was just that strong when he touched. No, I do not want to hear that. That is bullshit if I've ever heard it. This is a guy that just died to Nappa. There is no realistic way that you're telling me that that fusion is strong enough for that. And then, and this is the real nail in the coffin, unironically, at that point, why didn't fucking Nailing them fuse and definitely beat the shit out of Frieza? So you're telling me every Namekian's just fucking stupid? That there's not one other warrior on planet Namek? Which is untrue. Come on, bro. That's just, no matter which way you go about it, it was so dumb. It was so dumb. He was training with King Kai. Goku trained with King Kai, nigga. What are we talking about? If that's the fucking case, why didn't you just one-shot Vegeta? Stupid. It's just so stupid. Like, what the fuck? Kid Buu isn't evil. He just has no conscience. The embodiment of chaos is not coherently evil. The embodiment of chaos and mass murder does not therefore make you evil by nature. Okay. As a Tien fan, it really bothers me that we never got an explanation of why he has 3 eyes or what the hell Chaozu is supposed to be. Didn't we just kind of get a reason in Delilah? Or am I mistaken that? And Chaozu, he's a Pokemon. But didn't we kind of just get a somewhat, it's a fresh series, pardon me if I forgot, but didn't we kind of get a reason in Delilah or something like that? Or did they just explain who he was? Somewhere, I feel like some people explained Tien at some point in time. It was either Delilah or original. None? I don't fucking know. Huh. That's hilarious. If you're in Whole Cake, you might be confusing One Piece with Dragon Ball, maybe. Watching a lot of anime right now, chat. At this point, I'm watching like 5 different anime at once. No, honestly, like 7. I hate Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Don't get me wrong, I love the aesthetic, but I hate the way it's used. I think Super Saiyan Blue as a whole should have waited till U6 and Kaioken being added like with Kefla or Jiren before we got UI. I've been 100% thought this. I think it's a very simple format. I think Dragon Ball Super just fumbled a crazy bag here to potentially sell even more toys. And I'm not a marketing genius, so maybe they did the right thing. But Revival of F, Goku turns red-haired. Frieza's like, oh shit. Frieza turns golden. Keep the fight the exact same. Don't change shit about the fight. There's no reason to change anything about the fight. Keep the fight the exact same way. Reveal that Vegeta has red hair too. Preferably have him win with a prominence flash or something like that. But if he has to lose, still again, you can keep it the exact same. The story doesn't change if their hair is red. In the Universe 6 tournament, Goku, instead of screaming, let me try Kaioken, let me try stacking Super Saiyan onto God Ki. I don't know if this will work. Bam, it does. He's blue. Now we know that Vegeta can likely do the same thing as well, and just simply put, didn't want to take that risk. Add that there was a risk to that. Bada bing, bada boom, you're good. The next arc is Zamasu. You can unveil Kaioken there when he's pissed the fuck off even. I don't think you need to wait until Kefla or Jiren. I think you can pop Kaioken with fucking Zamasu and shit, because he's already taking the risk with Super Saiyan. What if he's been working on Kaioken as well? If not, definitely against Kefla or Jiren would have been fine. I think this was ridiculous that they decided in Revival of F to have a transformation like Super Saiyan Blue be off screen. There is not a soul that will convince me otherwise. But being said, man, your hot takes were hot. They were takes. We might have a debates or aux battle coming soon, so you should follow up the Twitch at TS_Sage. Someone asked me, do I have any hot takes? I have a hot take right now. I mean, I've already said Namek Vegeta's the best Vegeta. I think Goku's a better character all around than anybody in the show. Yeah, there's that. Also, subscribe. We're trying to hit 150 before the end of the year. We might not do it, but we also might. Take care. Stay blessed. See you next time.